Oh yeah, snow on the ground. Let's go bass fishing. Let's go bass fishing. 29 feels like it's 17.
Alright guys,
Challenge accepted.
welcome back to another episode of Nicholas Pullia Outdoors. Today we're back at the lake pond and we're going to actually go fish the main lake over there. But I just want to show you guys the pond's still not frozen. Right now, like I said earlier, it's 29 degrees, feels like 17, so the water will start freezing. On the way up here there was another lake I drove by, had some ice on it. Hopefully the main lake don't have ice on it. There's a spring in this pond, so I'm not sure when this one actually freezes up. We won't fish this pond today. We're going to go fish the main lake and go explore some new spots. Just wanted to show you that it did snow. And the funny thing, yesterday it got up to high 50s and I was outside with a t-shirt and I did my Christmas lights. So good thing I did my Christmas lights yesterday. Kind of excited about this new lake because as you can see, we got a pretty big bank we can fish, and it goes all the way down there to the corner. Also, over these weeds, it goes down in this little cove over here, which looks pretty good. We'll save the cove for when it gets warm out. Let's focus on this bigger body of water. Let's get down there. Let's try it out. Today, I'm going to fish a Senko Texas rig, and I'm going to fish a jig. I'm going to focus on the jig for these deeper water spots, and then I'll throw a Senko parallel to the bank and some cover spots. So let's hope we can catch a bass. It looks pretty good. Like I said last time, this guy said that people catch bass here, so it might produce a bass today. If it doesn't, we're just exploring, and we'll come back when it's warm and we'll get one. I do want to come back and do some pan fishing. I want to try some Berkley Gulp, and I'll float some gulp out there, see if I get some panfish, some crappie or small bass. We're just going to use this Bitsy jig. Spray some yum on it. These cold water conditions, spraying some yum on there definitely helps. I'm going to try to fish it pretty slow. Make sure my drag's set. Also, a good thing too about fishing this pond and this lake here, we're just exploring some new spots, so when it does get warm outside, we already know where we like to go. So I'll find where it's deep, where it drops off, I'll find nice coves. So it's not a waste of a trip if we don't catch nothing. At least we learned where there's a new spot. So pretty much we're going to be looking at a lot of spots this winter, and we'll find some good spots for the spring, and maybe we'll even catch a couple winter fish. Alright, let's try this corner. The water looks pretty clear over here. It does get a little dark, but the water's color looks like a weird greenish color, and but the visibility is at least a foot, so it's pretty clear. It's probably means it's got a nice sandy bottom. There's probably a lot of smallmouth bass in here. which that'll be nice for a change. I don't get to catch much smallmouth bass. We do have them in the river, but they're just hard to get to. Be nice to find a spot where I can get some. Just hopping it off the bottom. Trying to go slower, so I gotta keep telling myself go slower. Hopefully the last 4 days of high 40s and low 50s got the fish to move a little bit. Hopefully they're still searching for some food for the winter time. I mean, bass are gonna eat regardless all year long. Just that it's just hard to catch them on artificial baits. I did catch a 5-pound bass in February in Massachusetts. The ice was like half the pond was frozen. I was fishing through like this little broken ice path, just jigging a creature bait off the bottom, and we fished all day, and I finally got one. Alright, so we were over there. We're heading down this way. It's pretty windy today. There's not really too much of a current in the water. The wind's just chopping pretty good. But I'm going to take you guys on a walk down here. This place looks really good. We're probably going to do pretty well here in the springtime. I mean, it's got a nice sandy bottom. There's a lot of leaves in the water right now, so it's hard to tell, but you can tell with the color of the water, it's probably got a good sandy bottom. It's probably got some good rocks in there. I like how the bank is cut that way on the other side. We're going to be able to throw crankbaits in here. Looks like it's nice and deep in certain spots. We'll do some crankbaits and spinnerbaits in the springtime. I'm sure we're going to catch some pretty big fish out of here. There was a guy here last week that told me that people catch some pretty nice sized bass over on this side of the pond. Well, this is the lake, but they don't fish the pond, he said. They fish this lake more than the pond up there. He said usually it's pretty packed with people in the summertime, not as bad in the spring. So I'm gonna get here in the springtime. Even in the summer I'll get here. I'll come here real early. Alright, we're down here in the corner, so I wanted to check it out. Oh yeah, the water's still nice and clear. It's got a green tint to it still down here. Trying to see the end over here where it ends off at. Alright. Oh, that's pretty cool. Not too bad. I'm going to try to get to the other side and move the jig in slow and work my way down this bank. Alright, let's get to it. Alright guys, we're just going to keep fishing this jig. I'm going to start here at the end, which should have been the beginning, but I wanted to show you guys the whole side of the bank over there. And we're going to fish from this bank to the other bank and just jig it real slow off the bottom. And we're going to fish all the way down. Hopefully we get something. This water is a pretty interesting color, like I said earlier. It's like a greenish blue. Kind of looks like swimming pool water that it's just starting to go bad. Like, oh man, I gotta put some chemicals in my pool. That's what it looks like. I probably should have used a jerkbait today since the water is much clearer than I thought it was going to be down here. Jerkbait's a good fall fishing lure. However, I don't think I'd be able to fish it slow enough to make it go down far enough for them to hit it. Since the water, it's pretty cold. And I don't think the bass are that active. I'm going to get a couple more casts over here. I'm not going to spend too much time in this corner because it looks like the water's pretty shallow. Alright, let's get one more cast. That was a good cast. I mean, right underneath that tree. And maybe levy in the water, but I haven't got nothing on my hook so far, so that's good. Good for these jigs. Alright, let's do another cast. I feel like this side of the bank and the beginning cove where I walked past, I'll have to show you guys that cove on the way out. I feel like those bank sides are going to be real good for springtime bass, and they're going to be bedding over there pretty good. Moving it down. Still going to fish the jig. I really don't think I'm going to fish the Texas rig today. I want to focus on bouncing this jig pretty slow off the bottom. I do have it. I might try a couple casts with it. I just feel like the bass are probably going to be pretty lethargic and not really hit that Texas rig right now. It's supposed to warm up pretty good this week to some 40s. So maybe on the 40-degree day, maybe I'll throw like a trick worm or a finesse worm off the bottom. Maybe they'll bite that. Yeah, I think this week we should come back and try using maybe some micro lures, try downsizing, I might try to catch a couple of small bluegill from the pond and then use them for live bait over here. Just throw them out there, let them swim around nice and slow. Probably get a nice sized bass. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you comment below. I'll catch some bluegills and we'll live line them out there. I think that's what I really want to try. Hopefully we can catch a couple small bluegill. I do it today, but I don't have my oversized bobbers we'd need for that. Definitely want a pretty good sized bobber. I might get a balloon. Well, here's the cove I want to check out. There's a lot of private property signs on the opposite side of the cove. I don't want to walk down there and they think I walked around the yard. Even though this side is public, I don't want to fish in a private area, have the guy call the cops for no reason, waste my time. But this cove goes all the way down that way and it looks like a great spot. It's probably a little path I can get down there in that corner. So definitely that's going to be a good springtime spot for bass beds all along this. So we covered the water today, went all the way down that way with the jig. Didn't fish a texture rig, wasn't really feeling it when I seen the water conditions over there. Make sure you comment below if you want to see me come back tomorrow. I'm going to bring some micro lures, catch some bluegills, and use the bluegills for bait. And I'll throw out a rod out there and just let the bluegills swim around while I catch more bluegills. So I can catch the bluegills from the main pond over here, and then I'm going to fish them over here and see if we can get a big bass. So if you want to see that, make sure you comment below that you want me to do the, I'll call it the bluegill big bass challenge. So I look forward to making that video for you guys tomorrow if it's something you want to see. Sorry I didn't catch nothing today, just wanted to show you guys. We're doing a little exploring, find some new spots, and just trying to get more ideas for the new year. It's pretty cold today, like I said, feels like 17, it's pretty cold, the wind's pretty bad. But we'll be back here in the conditions. Let's come back and hopefully you guys want to see that bluegill big bass challenge, and we'll catch some bluegills tomorrow, and maybe a couple crappie trying to catch bluegill, and then we'll use them as bait. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost you nothing. Thank you for watching.